Welcome you back. It's a pleasure to have you online again.
Now we're going to talk about Arsenal's hope for winning the trophy.
Yeah.
So you saw the results last weekend. Left Arsenal with 19 points, with Liverpool having 28. A difference of something like 11, 9, 11.
9-11, around there.
Very different.
I have a message of hope, as always, for Arsenal fans. When you look at the 10 games so far played, 10, 11 games, we all know that this is a three-horse run. Chelsea is in the mix, but they still have a lot to learn. They are still a newcomer in this. They still have their 3-4 years of catching up, to be very sincere. Liverpool, Arsenal, Manchester City are still the teams to watch out for in this race. All I have to assure you is that this is the Premier League. It is not anything else. It is the Premier League. This is the league where everybody will lose points. Arsenal has played the top 7 teams. Arsenal has played against Liverpool, getting a well-deserved draw. Manchester City struggled to earn a point against Arsenal. Arsenal has beaten the stubborn teams, including Aston Villa. And Arsenal has lost points under controversial situations against very hard teams. Against Bournemouth, against
the red card.
against Newcastle, and the draw, the 1-1 draw against which team was that? It was also Brighton. And you saw what Brighton did to Manchester City. So teams will lose points. Arsenal has had the hardest fixture, and for them to have almost 20 points, it is a big credit. I want to assure you that after the break, you will see the real Arsenal. Arsenal has played under very hard circumstances, red cards, unlucky injuries to very key players, but still the team is soldiering on, being in the top 4 and hanging in around there. I need to assure you, Liverpool is new in this. They finished 10 points behind Arsenal last season. They will have to drop points.
And yet they were once 5 points ahead of Arsenal.
Exactly, last season. So what I want to assure you is Arsenal, yes, we are 10 points behind Liverpool. This is the Premier League. They haven't played these teams. Liverpool hasn't played against Manchester City. They haven't played against
their town.
Yes, against
Everton.
They still have a lot to do. And I'm very sure by Christmas we'll be knowing who really is going to win this. Manchester City has to come back into this. You can't put Arsenal out of it, because we are the team to watch. And to assure you, our fixture has been the hardest. The hope should be alive. We are still in this, and we'll fight until the last day, like we did it last season. That's the message of hope I have for all the Arsenal fans. We don't have to be scared. The team we played against, Chelsea FC, they had a big budget. They're a good team. They're a very good team. We earned a point against a big rival in London. You saw last season still they were not doing well, but they earned a draw against Manchester City. So this is something. It is only Arsenal that will get the bad headlines whenever they lose, whenever they lose a point against Man City. They will say Arsenal used the black arts, the dark arts. When we earn a point, actually this was a point earned, not 2 points lost against Chelsea.
And it was on Stamford Bridge.
So at Stamford Bridge, I can assure you Manchester City will lose at Stamford Bridge this season. But I will not put Chelsea among the top 3 at the end of the season. They're a good team. Yes, they'll qualify for Europa, but among the top 4, top 3, top 4, yes, I think Chelsea can finish 4th, but this horse is still among the 3. The 3 giants, Arsenal, Manchester City, Liverpool. But I give us an upper hand. They have did well against the odds, red cards, injuries, and they're playing against the top 8 in their first 10 league games. So Arsenal still has the upper hand in this. I'm very sure we are able to put a run of around 15 games unbeaten, and we will be where we're supposed to be.
Okay. What do you have to say about the injuries? We've seen teams play 2 matches per week. That is, Champions League, they play in the midweek, and they have to play a match either on Saturday or Sunday. Is it the cause of the injuries we are seeing? Or?
I don't think this is the cause of the injuries that we are having at Arsenal. The cause of these injuries, I think, is the transition, the level of competition that the team has. Everybody wants to be fit. Everybody wants to show the manager that I am the one who should start these games. People are doing too much, something more than what they're supposed to be doing. That's what I suspect. But this, within a month or something, we will see Arsenal back with all their squad.
But we've seen people like Rodri, before he got an injury. In an injury, he was complaining about the matches, the way they are fixed. Does it have an effect on, or is it going to have an effect on who is going to lead to take the Premier League or the Champions League? Because we are seeing teams.
I think everybody is having injuries. You look at Arsenal, you look at Manchester City, the way they look currently. Liverpool actually is doing better because they haven't had bad injuries yet. But everybody will have a share of this, like I've said. The fixture is packed. Everybody is really in a very tight situation. So the manager just have to find a way of coping with the change, because that's where we are. That's the football we are playing. This is not 1990. It's 2024.
Okay. Then we have seen a drought of goals at Arsenal. What do you think would be the cause? And do you think Arteta has got a solution yet?
The solution is back. You saw yesterday against Chelsea. You saw the king of midfield, the king of assists in the Premier League. You saw him. He's back, and I can assure you, Arsenal will score goals. The captain is back, and goals will flow.
Still on that. Since we are nearing the January transfer, do you see Arteta getting a striker? Because we saw Havertz get an injury and still play 90 minutes. Do you think Arteta will think about buying a striker?
Like I said earlier, at some point, it was a mistake for Arteta to let Nketiah go. Many people underrated him, but there is a season he had almost 10 goals. He was very strong, and good striker in the box. He was a goal poacher. I think we really need to get a striker. The loss against Newcastle, for example, was a very good example that we really need a striker. The loss against Inter Milan, we need a striker. So it is, everybody can see that, and I'm sure the board is doing something towards that.
Okay, there are so many names. There are so many names in the media. We have Victor Gyökeres, we have Osimhen, we have Benjamin Sesko, we have Vlahovic. Who would best suit at Arsenal if you were to bring in a striker?
Now, when you look at the trend of football currently, it's all about the statistics. Gyökeres has the statistics. For the last 3 seasons, the man is in almost a century of goals. So that is the name. That's the man we need to look at. But the competition will be high. Manchester United has an upper hand now with his manager coming, his maker coming to Old Trafford. I'm sure they have the money. They haven't spent much recently. So Gyökeres is the man, but let's see whom we can get. But that would be the best option for us.
Okay. We've had rumors of Saliba going to Madrid. Do you think that is going to affect the way he plays? And will Madrid still stick on Saliba? Because they have so many injuries in their defense. They are talking about Saliba and Sergio Ramos.
Yeah. Saliba currently, I think, is Saliba is the best central defender in the world currently when you look at the statistics. When you compare him with all the other defenders in the 5 top elite leagues of Europe, his statistics talk for him. The games he has played for France, he has been a top-level defender. I'm not very surprised that Real Madrid has come for him. As you know, they are very bullish in the way they follow their targets, and every player has a dream of playing for Real Madrid. Ronaldo left, he went to Real Madrid. Everybody has gone there. Everybody has wanted to play for Real Madrid. And I'm very sure Saliba, at his age, he would want to go and play in Madrid. But that would not stop Arsenal from being the Arsenal we know. Our scouting process has been good in the last 5 years. Maybe the Brazilians' departure might affect us, but I'm sure I'm hearing rumors of Rosicky coming. He has very good knowledge of football in Europe. You never know. Let's see how things pan out. But I would wish Saliba well if he decides to join Real Madrid. But still, if I had a chance of speaking to him, the Arsenal project is the best in the planet. You have seen how Real Madrid is struggling currently. I would not be very optimistic that it is Saliba to fix this. It's a big problem. It's a system problem, not a player problem. Bambe is struggling. I would not be surprised when he's offloaded very soon. So there's a lot which he has to consider. I hope his camp will sit him down. He recently signed a long-term contract, and he's still a national player. Let's see what pans out in the near future.
Okay, let's talk about the Arsenal midfield. We've seen Arsenal bring in a player like Mikel Merino, but Mikel Merino has not proved to the Arsenal fans in the games that he has played that he is worthy the project. Does he need time or?
Mikel Merino came from Spain. He had a very good Euro. And he has barely played 3 games for the Arsenal. It's normal for any player to struggle in the Premier League, and mostly when he's joining a fluid system like the one being mentored at Arsenal. So we need to give him time. He's a good striker, he's a good midfielder, very strong at doing his things. He just needs to improve on his speed, and I'm very sure he will adapt. We saw him against Liverpool. He didn't do bad. He has had a few bad games, but he hasn't played many. So let's be optimistic.
Then the other question is about the Man City boys, the boys we got from Man City, Jesus and Zinchenko. Do you still feel like they still have they have something they can add to the Arsenal squad, or you feel like it's time we move on?
I think under the circumstances, like I said earlier, football is evolving at the very highest speed. The coming in of Calafiori and the evolvement of the kind of football that we play up front. Gabriel Jesus seems to have lost the steam. It will be very hard for him to come back into this team. We need to just get a better striker, an upgrade on him, and we'll let him go. He earns a lot of money. So the 2 guys from Manchester City, I think, I'm sorry for them, but their time seems to be up at the Arsenal, and they should be looking elsewhere, maybe in Spain or Italy, or somewhere in the slow leagues.
Okay. Then we have seen a team like Chelsea have a squad of about 40 players, and we've seen Chelsea is the only team that is performing well in all the competitions. Do you think going forward all the teams will be allowed to have a bigger squad?
Chelsea doing very well in all competitions. Come on, these men are playing in the Conference League. They beat a certain team called Noah, a team which is not known to anybody. So I shouldn't say they are really doing very well. I don't know where you are coming from to say that. I haven't seen them.
When you see Chelsea play on the weekend, they don't look exhausted because they play another team for every season, for every trophy. Just like the Arsenal.
Then they should be having 30 points in the Premier League. We should not just judge people by the way they run on the pitch. Anybody can run, but it's football. This is not athletics where people just run. It's football. So I don't think a big and sustainable group is necessary at this moment. For teams like Arsenal, where you are trying to run on a good budget and making sure everybody is happy. And that's the Arsenal, by the way. We want to win the Arsenal way. We don't want to go to the supermarket and buy the Premier League. We want to win it the Arsenal way. And that's why we have taken all these years trying to build something good. We want to go the Chelsea way, and some rules will catch up with them at some point. Because it is unfair for you to have all these. How are you paying them? How are you getting? Because they are using somebody's money. They are not using money generated by the club. So there are many question marks about how Chelsea is being run, and that can be a topic for another day.
Okay, then the other thing is about the referee decisions against Arsenal. What do you have to say? Yesterday we saw Kai Havertz's goal not allowed.
Yes, we have seen a lot. We have seen a lot. Controversial red cards, inconsistencies in how the red cards and other decisions are made. I want really to be very clear. There is a lot to improve. I think we have seen better days in the refereeing world. There's a lot to improve. I hope something changes in the near future.
Okay. Do you have any last words that you have to say to the Arsenal fans?
My last words still resonate to our topic of the day. Just keep the hope alive. Arsenal will remain Arsenal, and I can assure you that we will do better than last season.